Board of Selectmen meeting comes to order. It is 7:05. I'm sorry, it's 1:05. Sorry, I'm used to nighttime meetings. So first thing on the agenda, all the selectmen are here. And in addition, we have Susan Eastwood. Let's see, we have some other participants as well. Let's see, that are going to be joining us. Let's see if that's just me for now. So we'll add them as they join the meeting. Okay, first hear from public. We don't have anybody from the public. I believe, Susan, you're on the agenda. Okay. So some of the things that have been going on, we've been doing Veterans Day planning for this year's Veterans Day, which will be held in Mansfield, and it will honor Vietnam era veterans. We are looking at what to provide as honorifics for those veterans who attend. And we may be able, at this point in time, we're working on that. And the person who is overseeing this one is her name is Jessica. She's the HR director in Mansfield.
St. John is her last
Yeah,
name.
yeah. I think it's Jessica St. John. Okay. Someone brought to my.
When is that?
Next Veterans Day in November.
I'm sorry, I could not hear you.
That's next Veterans Day in November?
In November, yes. We've had a couple of fires in town, as you're probably aware. That also has prompted concern from someone who lives on Chedlet, who, and I went over there. The houses are very close together. And the fire marshal has gone over there too, to look at a situation where there's some dried trees that have been taken down, but they've not been removed by a property owner. And the person's concerned that that will be kindling for a fire. And I'm a little shocked at how close all of those homes are. So the fire department and the fire marshal are looking at that. I attended the NECOG meeting on last week. And what was interesting, what came up was the concern about knotweed, which we have our own group here that's looking at invasives. So knotweed, they're all concerned about that because it's taking over in some areas, and they're looking at how they can get rid of it. Chris has done some research on transfer station stickers. We anticipate they're going to cost about just under 1,000 to replace them this time. Last time it was 890 something.
Yeah.
Okay. All the paving is done. The Public Works is taking care of that. I had a complaint this morning about a semi trailer in the Knowlton parking lot that backed in, actually blocked somebody in. And I'm wondering if what we should be doing is putting up some kind of a sign that says something to the effect of no trucks parking here.
Well, was it overnight?
No, it wasn't overnight.
It
But what I
pulled
can
in?
tell you is that when school starts, there's a bus that pulls in there to pick up the kids for school.
Yeah.
Yep.
Several.
So what do you think? Do you think we should pursue having some signage? One thing I do want to do is have something done where there's an in arrow and an out arrow.
Mhm.
Because when the parking lot starts to get busy, the people are not aware of the fact that you need to go in one direction.
Mhm.
And maybe take out one of the middle parking spots that makes it too close for a truck to go through.
Well, a lot of the times
Safely.
though, I'll see state trucks in there too. You know,
Yeah.
and,
Well, this particular, the
Big
big
semi.
semi was filled with garbage. So it's transporting it from somewhere like Willimantic to Hartford or wherever.
Were
It
they
was
the-
a big truck.
Were the ash trucks? 'Cause we
Probably
got
an
the-
ash truck.
It's got the ash trucks that come through here all the time. Usually
Okay,
they're up in
maybe.
Mobile Mart.
Yeah,
We complained about that though. I haven't seen them there lately. Have you? I haven't seen them there late since then.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we chase them out of there, we create another problem. But yeah, the big, long silver, kind of a dump bucket, that's.
yeah,
the
I
ash
didn't
trucks.
look at it. I got the
They're going
complaint.
off
Yeah.
or up. I mean, we got probably 15 of those things coming through a day.
A day and parking in a
Not
consecutive.
coming, well, I mean, they're on their way
They're
to.
coming from New York and going
Grab
to
a
the
chair.
ash dump in
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putnam.
Yeah.
Putnam, Killing.
Yeah, that's what-
But-
That's what the person thought it might be.
Yeah.
So the point is they're parking in our parking lot. And in this particular case kind of blocked somebody.
Probably the best thing to be would just, let's get a name off the truck and just kind of call the company and just say, hey. would be, a problem. Your
Okay,
trucks
so
is causing
not
issues.
everybody's gonna complain and I'm not gonna be out there all the time looking to see if these guys are parking there.
Yeah.
So when the school bus starts picking up kids there again, that's my concern.
Yeah. No,
We also have them parking on the side of the road where they're not supposed to park.
yeah.
It's really, and we had an accident there, another one. We had a fatality there before, but we had another accident probably about 6 weeks ago. At the gas station.
We've had several fatalities there, unfortunately.
Mhm.
I don't think it would hurt, Catherine, if we kind of put our heads together and maybe come up with some signage that is for municipal business only parking.
Yep,
And
Municipal one,
you're
yeah.
still gonna have people pulling there when town hall is closed or whatever, but
understood.
I know we had a problem with overnight parking over at Pompey Hollow Park.
Yeah.
And I called the state police in several times. Basically, they said there was nothing we could do unless we had signage.
And we put the
So
signs
we
in.
had that sign made up.
Yep.
So I think probably coming up with some sort of a
Okay.
sign there that if somebody's taking advantage of it, if they're blocking somebody or whatever, at least the police have some guidance here that
Okay,
it's prohibited.
very good. I'm sorry, so cozy here today. Grab a
Oh,
chair and,
That's okay.
all right. Let's see, I don't want to hold everything up here. Let me just see if there's anything else. Nothing of major concern. All right, acceptance of the minutes of the special meeting of May 6th. You have those in your stack.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. Motion passes, thank you. I don't think we have I don't think I put the May 19th meeting minutes there. We'll do that another time. You have the June 16th minutes.
I'll move that they be. accepted.
Roger. And Bill. Roger, make sure you were at that meeting.
16th, I believe that was. It was the
Maybe
one
it was the
before.
other one you weren't. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. Did I get a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. There were two things I forgot to tell you. I'm sorry, in my update. One was on Zoom. I'm working with, and have been working with for some time with Mike D'Amato on looking at setting up Zoom, new Zoom accounts that are for the town town's use that are in our domain, not in Tyke's. We would still have Tyke support. We have Tyke support all the way through to the end of 2026, the calendar year, because we used the monies from ARPA to pay for that in advance. But I've been working closely with him on getting some accounts set up here so that we have standard accounts with standard profiles. Because we've had a couple of situations, in particular with the Board of Finance, where at one point recently they added AI to where you go into the meeting and AI pops up and says, do you want a summary of this meeting? And so a person can ask for that. However, these are municipal meetings and the only appropriate output are the minutes and the video. And the minutes are reviewed and approved by the board in the subsequent meeting. So having summaries created artificially is not appropriate. So I let the Board of Finance Chair know, and she has taken the AI off of hers. But what we need to have is we need to have Zoom accounts so the person actually running the meeting through the Zoom can kick people out if we're Zoom bound. Okay, that's been the problem. And that's the one that I think the Board of Finance was trying to solve on their own. What we really need is we need a standard process, how information gets passed to the town clerk in terms of the meeting as well. You know, we've already got one, but it's not really being applied when it comes to the Board of Finance. So we need everybody operating the same way. The other thing is the setup for the room downstairs. That is the, we have $15,000 that was appropriated or is earmarked from the capital improvement plan for this fiscal year to do the upgrade downstairs. So I am waiting for the final layout from Savage to come back to me. We've already gone through estimates. We've already gone through what the layout ought to be. We worked it through. Chris and I went down and took another look, had some adjustments that we made, and sent it back to them. And they're supposed to get it back to me so that we can get started. I'd like to get that in place as quickly as we can so that we're not in this kind of a situation, all boxed here. The other thing is they're also looking at repurposing the owl, etc., for up in here in our selectmen's conference room.
Yep.
So we're working on that right now. Okay. What I'd like to do is waive the minutes for July 4th, July 21st, and move for right now and move on to getting the reports from our senior center and from youth and social services. We've been trying to do this for a period of time, and the logistics just haven't worked out. I'm really glad you're able to be with us, Irene, because I know you were busy in camp the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I just want to let everybody know, we had rave reviews about camp. We had 20 kids the first week and 22 the second week. And they, on Facebook, etc., they're all saying what a great time the kids had. They all went home exhausted. I happened to have seen Irene Friday early evening, and she looked like she was almost on her last legs. This girl has a lot of energy. So expended a lot of it. So I don't think Monica's on here yet. She was going to join via Zoom.
She said she hadn't gotten the link yet. She just texted me.
Say
She
that
has
again?
not received the link.
Oh,
So she can't get on.
okay. All she
I
needs
can-
to
I
do
can
is
get-
go out. All she needs to do is go out to the website, get the link. But let me just very quickly.
So while we're doing that, I did print out a few of our just benchmarks.
And you could speak a little louder because We're trying to pick it up here.
I did print out some of our benchmarks and our Ashford Resources Guide, which we recently made. It was a team effort, but I'll talk about it as we go along, so. Hey, what? And I apologize, I'm in shorts. I took the day off today because of camp, but I came in for this meeting, so I know we've been.
Oh,
Trying
that's
to do
very
it for a
nice of
while.
you.
So relaxed.
Are you sure?
Yeah, okay.
We have extra.
Okay,
You guys. I have one extra one.
Thanks,
for her.
Erin.
No problem.
You don't have to dress up for us.
I was saying I almost forgot how to because I've been.
Hey, Loretta.
Hello.
Here, you can take a seat here. I'm about to present and then I'll get out. Okay.
Okay,
Put my stuff down.
good. We'll be able to hear you better over here.
Awesome.
So,
So I'll just put this here so to follow along. So
thank
I
you.
kind of started off with our back to school supplies from last year. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Irene Rowley. I just hit my 1 year mark as the Youth and Social Services Director.
And she loves the job, right?
I do.
You
I'm
still
having-
love the job.
I do. I'm having such a good time. And it's really great because I get to work here, but I also get to work at Ashford School. So it's a really great way for me to keep in touch with the youth in the community as well as the families that might not have kids or their kids may have outgrown Ashford School already. So my first job coming here last year over the summer was doing our back to school supplies, which now I'm doing again. So you'll see the benchmark there. We served about 12 families. I'm so sorry about the AC. Then we also run a program called Farm to Families, and that's a program that we partner with the town of Mansfield. Through them, we also received a grant with Click. They're one of the kitchens out of Willimantic, and they partner with a lot of the local farmers. So we're able to serve at least 25 families, milk, eggs, meat once a month, and fresh produce and fruit from there, which is really great. And that program runs typically from May all the way through October. So it's a great way to get those kinds of nutrients to our community. We're running it again now, and I have a little bit more than 28 families this year. I have about 32. So it's growing and very popular. We also did Ashford Family Day last year, where we partnered with the library. It was Catherine, myself, and Sherry York from Parks and Rec.
And Shantae.
Yes, and Shantae.
Yeah.
And we had a really good turnout. I'm sure you all were there. So that was a really great time. I also run Kids Night Out for the 7th and 8th graders at Ashford School. So through that program, we bring them to 3 different places. Last year we did Sunny's Place, the bowling alley in Vernon, and Nomad's Adventure. It kind of just gives them a sense of different options of things that they have to do on a Friday night, rather than going out and maybe getting in trouble and divert them from using drugs. So last year we had about an average of 62 kids, I want to say. At one point we had 73 kids on our last trip, so it was
Wow.
quite a lot. But it's very popular with the kids and of course with the families. So that's always so much fun to do. We also ran our Halloween event also with Shantae and Parks and Rec. I was in charge of the younger kids, so running all the little activities, and I had planned so many games and all of these things, and all the kids cared about were all the balloons. So this year we're just gonna do balloons and simple stuff. Yes. And with the little kids, I also run a play group every single Friday. So that is run out of Ashford School throughout the school year. It's from 8:30 to 10, and that really gets families into the school, gets the little kids into the hallways of the school to get to know where they might be going in the next few years, and gets the parents talking to each other, because sometimes as parents, you don't have a huge support system, and maybe a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, they just are with their kids all day. So it's nice to get out and speak with other folks. And then this summer was our first year running it out of Ashford Park on Fridays as well, which has also been successful. With that, I also have run 2 car seat clinics. So we just had one about a month ago, and then we had one last October. Also both very successful. Anybody could come, get their car seats checked. Also, if there is a low income families, they can get a free car seat right then and there and get it professionally installed, so we can make sure all of our families are safe. Our Thanksgiving food baskets, we partnered with St. Philip's Church as well as the Men's Club, and that was also very successful and very helpful for about 30 plus families here in town. With that was also our holiday baskets and holiday toy drive. So we did the angel tree down at Knowlton Hall, and we served about 30 plus kids, and that doesn't even count the angel tree that was at Ashford School. So there's a lot of kids in our community that got served during the holidays this year. We recently met with Access Agency, which I partner with. So I'm the main hub here in Ashford. So anybody here in town that needs any energy assistance, I do the application, I submit it into Access's portal, and then they take care of the finances for that. So this year I submitted about 116 applications. And that could be regular energy assistance, or a family that comes to me and says, hey, I just ran out of oil, or I just ran out of wood, anything of that sort. And we got them connected with them, which was really great. In our meeting with them, they also told us about a few of their other programs, which have been really great as far as like employment or senior housing, because I know our housing has quite a bit of a wait list. So it's really great to partner with other communities. Let's see. Our referrals from the fire department, those have also been really successful. I've worked with Chief Varga as well as the Fire Marshal Charlie Sweetland quite a bit. I actually just worked with them on Friday right after camp. They called during camp, and I said I have to finish camp and then I'll be right over. So I got to meet a new member of their team last week, which was really nice. But they're really great to work with in any case that somebody in town might need some extra resources in their home that they didn't know were available, or some of the fires that we've unfortunately had in town, and helping folks get rehomed that way, which has been really great as well. And then to wrap it up this summer, I did a program with the towns of Mansfield and Wellington called Bowl for Great Outdoor Adventure Learning, and that is for our 8th graders going into 9th grade, for them to get to know each other before they go into high school, and also make better choices as far as other activities that they can do. So we did things like kayaking, we did a lot of team building. That was a good time with them, and I didn't write it down on here. I'm also part of a youth diversion team with them. So anytime that any youth might get in some trouble with the law, they can get referred over to our program, and then from there we can decide how many hours of community service they have to do, if they have to do community service, sort of just loop them in so that they're not just getting lost in the system and just going out doing their community service and then maybe reoffending. So I'm proud to say that in Ashford in the last year we've only had 3, which is an unfortunate number, but compared to other surrounding towns, it's very, very low. And then the most recent thing is just finishing up summer camp, which, as Catherine said, we had a really great turnout. I was afraid that we would have to cancel the second week of camp, but it ended up, we almost needed to have a wait list. So it was a lot of fun. The kids are already asking to come back next year. We always started off down at Ashford Park, and then we would end up at Pompey Hollow. And we went swimming over at Halls Pond. We did some field trips to Ronaroll and the zoo. So it was a really, really great time, and a really great time getting connected with all the families once again. I know that was a lot of information. One of the other things was we are part of our senior consortium group, and within that we made a resources guide for Ashford. You might have recognized it on the back of one of the citizens, I believe 2 months ago. So this is just a quick little snapshot for folks to look at and say, oh, I didn't know that I can call the senior center for that, or I can call the library for that. So this is something that I feel like we're all really proud of that was done recently. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Well, it's hard to believe a year has gone by already.
I
Seems like
know.
just yesterday. It's nice to see how you've taken control of your responsibilities there. Interacting with all the different groups, I think, is essential, which is one of the things we talked about a
Yeah,
year ago.
yeah, absolutely.
I noticed on your list here, I didn't see bike camp. Is that still happening or?
So that was through Parks and Rec, and it didn't
Okay.
happen this year. It
Yeah.
happened a few weeks before Sherry retired.
Okay,
Yeah, and I have partnered with Noah King, our new Parks and Rec director. He came to camp quite a bit last week and was super helpful.
nice.
And we've already talked about how we can partner with programs in the future, so I'm excited about that.
In fact, Noah is now part of the senior consortium. He
Yes.
meets with all of us monthly.
Yeah.
As far as your time, Irene, being spent between here and the school, what's the breakdown?
Yeah, so I'm at the school on Tuesdays and Fridays. I share a classroom there with the school psychologist, so those are the only days that I can be there. And then I'm here on Mondays and Wednesdays, and I know that the building is closed on Thursdays, but you'll most likely find me here on Thursdays as
I've
well.
seen her.
And then also for different things like the youth diversion team and the things that I partner with other towns, they're open on Thursdays. So sometimes I'm in Mansfield, sometimes I'm in Wellington. So my position is 35 hours and I either meet that or go over that some weeks. But either way, I make it work.
I know you came on board sort of in the middle of a budget process. How has that been going? Do you
Yeah,
see any areas that we need to improve on that or
so
any suggestions?
I know that the rest of the ARPA funds were able to come to youth and social services, which have been really helpful for other folks that may have not met the criteria for energy assistance, or for example, now we have that.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Monica, can you mute? Can you mute temporarily?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That folks come in and they're able to pick their school supplies, but also they get a $25 gift card for winter boots for their child. So that is, things like that are a bit of concern, and also with the holidays coming up, I'm not sure exactly what funds we're gonna be able to utilize. Like I said, we did partner with St. Philip's Church and with the Men's Club for food, so that has been extremely helpful. I just don't know, with relying with other resources, how their funds are gonna continue to look, so therefore it brings some concern to my department. Also with other things getting cut, like maybe SNAP and other, things that we've all heard in the news are on the line. Those things are a huge concern to me because, like I said, we get enough food for 25 families for our farm to families, but right now I'm serving about 32 families. And that number continues to grow. Even last week, I had extra people come in and I had to turn them away because I don't get enough milk, eggs, and beef for them. I said, you can pick as many vegetables as you'd like, but everything else has already been accounted for and numbered. So I hear that next year might be a little bit more difficult with the budget. I'm a little nervous about that, yes.
I know we made a couple of special appropriations with ARPA funds for fuel assistance and that. Is there any of that left or is that?
Yeah, absolutely. I do hear that it has to be spent by a certain date.
Right.
So after that, and I'm very cautious of how I'm spending it and when I'm spending it. I come from a nonprofit background, so I can get pretty crafty in reaching out to other organizations and thinking outside of the box. But once those funds are gone, I'm not sure what we'll do.
Is most of that going for fuel assistance or?
Yeah, I would say fuel assistance and rental assistance.
Okay.
Yes.
Roger. Well, it's a pleasure having you on board.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I'd welcome you to the team, but you're long past that now.
She actually makes teams.
Yeah, I've tried to, and I was telling Noah, like I went to one Board of Ed meeting, I went to one PTO meeting, just trying to get, my name and face out there, and it has really paid off with the community. I think that, we have a very special group here.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think that there's somebody outside, so.
Yeah.
I'll see.
So, Monica, would you like to present? Talk about what you do? Give me just a second. We're just gonna check here and see who's.
These are all signed. Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna join on Zoom, so.
Okay.
I'll stay for Monica and then.
Thank you.
Watch out for the door. She's gonna open it in a minute. Okay, Monica, let me just get you, if you like, you can unmute. Let's see if I can make this bigger. There we go. I'm trying to get out of the line of view here.
Thank you, sir. You got all these?
Okay, gentlemen. This is Monica Gallegos. She is our Senior Center Director, for those who aren't aware. Hi, Monica.
Hi, everyone. How are you today?
Good. I know Monday is one of your busiest days. Absolutely. So if you could talk to us about what you've been doing over at the Senior Center.
So I started January this year. So pretty much the first couple of months, I started just getting to know everybody, the routine and the programs that we service here at the Senior Center, which is a lot. So after that, I started just gearing myself into just learning, the town, because I'm not familiar. I wasn't familiar so much with Ashford as I am now. So that was my main priority at the beginning. So I just, I started making acknowledgements here in town with the seniors, getting into new programs. And pretty much these 6 months have been a very fast learning curve, professionally and personally for me. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I completed my safe serve manager certification, I believe back in April, so we can get the kitchen going. I know a lot of the seniors are very interested in having those congregate meals come back at some point. So I'm just checking off boxes to make that happen, and in talks with TVCCA to see how their program starts and bringing it back sometime possibly next year. One of the big things and one of the big reasons I'm busy on Mondays is because we started a bread box donation. It's a partnership with Big Y, where I go in the mornings. On Monday mornings, I pick up boxes of danishes, pastries, any kind of bread for the week. And we start having donations here at 10 o'clock every Monday for Ashford seniors. And then we have a lot of programs going in on Monday. We just finished actually today our birthday celebration. So we had 7 birthday people from August come in today, and about 15, 18 people showed up. So that was great. So yeah, just
If I could interject there on the birthday celebrations, the number of people who are going to these celebrations now has increased quite a bit. I was
Yeah.
there when we had a couple of times when we had maybe 3 people. So very nice.
Yes. So that's one of the things that I've been working on, just building up our daily attendance here at the center. When I first started, the numbers were very, very low. I think on Mondays we had an estimated maybe 3 or 4 people come in during the day, and now on Mondays at the end of the day we have about 30 people come in just on Monday alone. So it's between the bread box donation. we started Weiboing for some of the seniors, and I can see new faces coming in just to cheer on whoever's playing, staying a little bit longer. It's a word of mouth, coming in, and you bring a friend, you bring someone else. So Mondays are my most busiest day here at the center so far. So we start off the week very, very good on a positive note, busy note. And then I'm trying to build programs on a daily basis just to get that same number of people come in. Another thing I've been working on, other than increasing our daily attendance, is I created a spreadsheet of daily and monthly attendances, just so we can keep a track of what's going on. If it's something, a season, time of the year that it kind of overflows, or there's not so much attendance here, and we can try to figure something out in the future to see how it fluctuates throughout the year, and see what works and what doesn't. I've also been collaborating a lot with ASCO, and sharing ideas, programs. I recently started working with Sandy just to add our programs here at the center to their newsletter, and collaborating a lot with them in that partnership. So I think that's a great thing, especially since when I started in January, and the collaboration that we've established so far. I also started a new Facebook page. I know a lot of the seniors use Facebook for communication and keeping up to date. I try to put something and add something there at least 2 or 3 times a week. At the beginning of the month, I share our calendar. I share what's going on in the month. If there's something special or out of the ordinary happening at the center, I try to add it there as well. So, yeah, pretty much that's my life here at the center. And then, future programs that I want to start integrating. I know a lot of the seniors have been asking about Shred Day, which was, I believe, done for a long period of time over the years here in Ashford. And unfortunately, we lost our contact with the person who was donating the Shred program. So
just so you know, Chris Abakoff is looking at us doing that from the town perspective, though another person was paying for it.
Right.
And so we're actually doing a reach out to reestablish Shred Day.
So I have done a couple of, I have done some contacts, so I might call Chris just to see what we can come up with together, because I do have a lot of good quotes and discounts, because we are a senior center. So I don't know if that would help at all
Yes,
in the cost. So I will call Chris just to get what she has. Sorry. And possibly bring that back sometime next year for the community, because I do have a lot of interest in bringing that back as a yearly thing. I did also get a lot of questions about bringing veterinary care for our pets, for seniors, veterans, and those who are disabled. So I did have a meeting with Vet Care Everywhere, which is a mobile veterinary service that services this area. They service Massachusetts and Rhode Island as well. So I am in communication with them just to set up a date and see what we can do for seniors, veterans, and disabled who, unfortunately can't afford services for their pets. So that is in the works, and then hopefully we can get that going sometime soon. That's pretty much it.
I have a thought. One thing would be, maybe what we could do is on our town website, we can put something up front and center that says, here are all of our Facebook pages, because I don't think everybody knows about all of them. So I'll talk with Karen about that, our webmaster. Anybody have any questions?
I just have a comment. I can say that Monica and I, as well as Parks and Rec, Department of Public Works, we've worked together quite often in these last few months, and very well. I can say that Camp Ashford would not have run without the senior center and without Public Works. They were able to help put on the farm to families while I was away at summer camp. So it was a really great team effort. And I've also been able to pop into some of the events that Monica has run, and they are very popular and a really great time.
Nice. Great. Monica, nice seeing you again. Thank you for joining us. I'm curious, how are we doing with outreach, for instance, to shut-ins or whatever, senior shut-ins and added? Do we have any sort of a program that does that to try to help them come back or get more involved?
I know that I am trying to be very vigilant on what I hear as to programs, events. For example, our birthday celebrations, I try to bring in either local artists, music, comedy. You know, we had someone here from the Last Green Valley today, so I'm trying to incorporate a lot of different and diverse programs just to see who can come. We also, the Bread Box donation on Monday mornings has brought back a lot of people who I had never met in the first 3 months. Some of them would walk in and just take the bread and walk out. The second time they'd come in, linger around, ask questions, look at our programs. So what I have been trying to do is try to gear a lot of our programs to different, the diversity here in Ashford, you know, to see what everybody likes and just try to bring them back. We have had a drastic change in our numbers and new faces from the routine ones that I had when I first started. So it is definitely a work in progress, and I'm really hoping to get that crowd back. I do see a lot of pictures from before where the center was very full, very active. So I am trying to get those programs and volunteers to come back and those faces to pop back in, which it's been happening. But like I said, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, understood. Did appreciate the numbers that you showed us with your activity reports. The only thing, when you do your next one, if perhaps you could give us like what the previous numbers were, so we can get some comparison on
From
your
last year?
this and that.
From last year, we don't have them.
Well, whatever we might have, she'll have them from this last report going forward or whatever, just so we can get an idea,
Right.
you know, on what's gaining, where we perhaps have to pay a little more attention to. How are you doing with your bus drivers? And is the bus being utilized to its full extent as far as you're concerned?
As far as I'm concerned right now, we only have one bus driver, and that is Sandy Lebrecht from ASCO. And unfortunately, we haven't been able to find new drivers. We used to have several. I have reached out to them, but unfortunately, they're not able to drive anymore. They're taking care of a relative. So the only one right now that I've been able to have is Sandy. I have posted on our Facebook page, and I have added notes to our posting on the Citizen looking for volunteers, but nobody unfortunately has reached out.
Did you say you were also, at one point during one of our conversations, that you were also looking at whatever you would need to do to be able to drive the bus?
Yes, I am looking at that. I actually did have my physical for the driver, for the license, I forgot what it's called. I'm sorry, Catherine, if you can help me out. But I did have my physical completed. I sent it into the office, so I'm just waiting for them to reply back to me so I can submit all of my other forms. I heard from Sandy that it does take about 6 months for them to fully approve someone to drive the bus. So it's, again, a work in progress.
Well, because Irene has so much time on her hands, maybe we'll get her to drive the bus.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you know, it's a thought.
Sounds like a party bus to me.
Right.
Thank you, Monica. We appreciate what you're doing.
You're very welcome.
Something, Tom?
You're doing great.
When you retire.
Thank you.
We'll see.
Thank you, guys.
Ha, ha, ha.
If we could, Jessica, are you in transit?
She
Yep,
had
no, I'm available.
She's there.
I'm sorry, could you say that again, Jessica?
Yeah, I'm available.
Can we, is it okay if we have Jessica go next for everybody?
Absolutely.
Because she's kind of in a pinch.
I know she said she.
Yeah.
Hi, Jessica, you want to talk to us about, let me just see which thing it is here. It is the ratification of shared
yeah.
responsibilities. Yes.
Yes, for the agreement. So we are right now, we're doing an application for additional funding for the rehab. And as part of that application, I need to show the agreement regarding the pilot. And so when I went to go look for one, I realized we don't have one that's really current. The last one wasn't signed, so I figured we could take a look at that again and get an official agreement that's signed. And it's good to look at that anyways. I think it's been a real long time since the last time. Probably, I think it was before I started, so it's been quite a while. So you should have the recent copy, the draft of the agreement. Really the only change is that the previous agreement, the pilot was listed as 10%. And so we've changed it to the pilot being a flat 10,000, which has been the standard pretty much since I've been here, last 15 years.
And the only other change was that you added a line that the agreement should be reviewed every
That's right,
3
yes.
years
Yep.
or at whichever party's discretion.
Correct, yep.
So Jessica, all of the services in that, there are no add-ons in the new one?
No, everything's been working fine regarding the responsibilities for the Pompey Hollow Park.
I guess in reading it, what I was a little confused with was our plowing responsibilities regarding the tenant parking areas. How are we doing that, or is that a combination of things that are being done?
No, the town is doing that.
And what do you folks coordinate the moving of the cars and that?
Yes, yeah. We have a system in place. The tenants know where to park when there's a snowstorm, and then we work with Public Works and we get the whole lot plowed, and it's been working. I mean, it works well.
Yeah. Well, if it works, we don't want, if it's not broken, we don't want to fix it.
Right. Like I said, I mean, the agreement regarding the park and who's responsible for what, I mean, we really didn't change anything because it does work and it has been working. I mean, Casey's been great. I've talked to him many times. So we know where we have to mow, where they mow and plow, and so yeah, I think it works. So really, why change anything?
So the basic change, if I understood it, where we had 10%,
Mhm.
and the document I have, which is not dated, said that at that time it was about $8,300.
Yeah.
I know from time to time, when you've gone into a budgeting hardship, we waived it. What were we waiving on the basis? Where we cut down what the pilot was?
So usually it's something that's unexpected, that a large expense that's happened during the year, and then we usually come to you at the end of the fiscal year asking for forgiveness. Last year, I did come to you in, I believe it was July, to ask for a reduction to $5,000, and that was because we were hit with the insurance, our property insurance had increased by over 50%. So I was having trouble balancing our budget. And so I asked for the forgiveness. But typically we do pay the pilot, and fiscal 25, we paid 5,000, but the 2 or 3 years before that, even maybe even more, we did pay the 10,000. I do try to make that a priority. I don't look at that as something that we don't have to, pay. That's not how I look at that at all.
Understood.
I think it was fiscal years 23 and 24 where it was 5,000, where we did the forgiveness. And not for 25, because I know you've paid the 5,000, there's another 5,000 due. You may have
Okay.
seen my email, yeah.
Yep.
Because I did check on that. Good.
So we've been going with the 10,000 as the figure for the past several years?
Yes.
Well, thank you, Jessica, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have no objection. I'll move that the Board of Selectmen approve the agreement between the Ashford Housing Authority and the town of Ashford
Thank you.
regarding split responsibilities for
I'll
that
second.
area, Pompey Hollow.
And we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's move it on down here.
I will excuse myself.
Yes.
just Before you guys.
Thank
move
you for
on.
coming in
Thank you so
today.
much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I just wanted to mention just one more thing when we were talking about my hours and everything. When I'm at Ashford School, I'm still available to our community quite often. So if somebody from the community needs me, I will leave the school and I'll come here and meet with them. If they happen to have a child at the school, then sometimes, very rarely, they'll come meet with me at the school. But my priority is our community first, and then I'm at Ashford School. So I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Have a great day.
You too.
I love the sense of ownership these two women have for their role and our community.
On that
Okay.
note, I will excuse, do you guys need me for anything? Can I excuse myself?
Yes, you can.
Thank you so much for having me, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And I've heard nothing but good feedback.
Me too.
So, okay, moving on down here. Approval of Natchog River Watershed Plan. Who's speaking to that? Anybody here?
Yeah, I
And you, gentlemen, you have your copies?
I've read it.
Yeah, and by the way, it's been signed by other towns.
Yeah, it's great plan. I mean, it's pretty much in line with everything that we do. It's pretty much in line with all of what we're about in Ashford. Ashford is basically, totally in a watershed. We have the cleanest water in the state. We want to make that continue. And so this is just an agreement that we work with other towns to ensure that happens. So there's no really hardship on the town for signing this. It's more saying we're gonna work together to keep our water clean. Essentially, that's it. It's a lot of words and everything, and it's about best management practices and everything, and that's because best management practices keep changing as we learn more about waterways and how to protect them. But I don't think anyone would object to anything in the plan. It's pretty straightforward. We do have, hopefully our new person, Joe, will be the representative who will represent on the meetings and everything. He's really good.
This is Joe Hendricks?
Yes, yes. So I think everything is covered. There was no discussion in terms of should we do this, should we not, from us. And you know, one of the things that we're really about is maintaining our clean water because it helps everything, including, you know, the trout stream up where the proposed warehouse was. So, I mean, it's just in line with what most people feel in our town, is that we want to keep our resources vibrant, is the way they are.
I had a quick question. How is it tested? And is it tested, I mean, when you say we have the cleanest water in the state, how is that determined? Are there testing done? in
There have
comparison
been
with-
in the past, because ECCD, the Eastern Conservation
Yeah.
Commission, used to be run by Jean Pillow, who would periodically come and take samples, and she actually worked with some Ashford residents to become test samples checkers,
Mhm.
and that she would send it in regularly. Right now, I'm not sure this new person who's there is really from a grant, so I don't know how long she's going to be there. And I don't know what's going on there, but we're going to have, one of our groups will be water management, and so they're probably gonna get trained to be able to check on a regular basis, because, hopefully that if there's any problem, we can deal with it right away. And so that's pretty much what's happened in the past. There's been a couple of problems. A couple of times we've had farmers, you know, we've had to fence in their animals because they were polluting the waterways and everything. So usually it's kept pretty much on top of things, so we know before it gets to be such a huge problem. And part of the issue is the Natchog River runs into the Willimantic Reservoir, and so they're using it in Willimantic as drinking water. So I think that's also a check by the water department to make sure that they're not creating issues and problems.
Many years ago, I don't know if you remember or not, we were put under order for Lake Chaffee by DEP. And for 10 or 20 years after that order, they did regular testing up there. And the water quality did nothing but improve.
Right.
I mean, my guess is that order went in when there were seasonal cottages up there. Nobody had sophisticated septics or anything else. You know, that's no longer the way it is up there, but
Right.
I was just curious if that is still being gauged at all.
The Lake Chaffee and Ashford Lake both have very active community organizations
Yeah.
that some
Yeah.
of the residents are also members of, and they pretty much stay on top. If there's a potential problem
Yeah.
or something, they check it out. And I think they get pretty good compliance with people. And I think now, since more people are full-time residents, I
Yeah.
think they have a responsibility to, you know, keep that water as healthy as possible. I mean, it gets a lot, you know, because there's a lot of people,
Yeah.
particularly around Lake Chaffee.
Yeah.
You know, Ashford Lake, not as much, it's not as populated, but still, I mean, they're pretty active communities, both of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Catherine, I will make a motion to approve the agreement.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
your
coming and
time.
speaking with us. Motion passes.
Thank you, Catherine, for talking also with,
I met with you.
got a lot of the details, because there was a lot of information. Could be a little overwhelming.
It was. It was, but I survived, which is good. My apologies, I kind of bounced around a little bit. I'd like to do one more bounce if you wouldn't mind. We have, are both of you here from the Clean Energy Task Force?
Oh,
Could we
yes.
go to that next?
Absolutely.
Certainly.
Thank you. So you'd like to increase your membership from 7 to 9 members? You want to talk about it?
Sure, thanks. I'd love to. Well, we were formed in 2009.
A little bit. louder.
We were formed in 2009 with 7 members.
Yeah.
And we have, you know, gone along with that, but we do have some people who participate over the years, you know, off and on, without being members, because they want to participate, which is fine with me. But I just thought that it was kind of nice to be able to have, people want to be members. So it's nice to have a slot for them. And right now we have 7 members and one person who's wanting to join definitely, another couple people who are interested. So I just thought this might be the right time. At least we wanted to add Kurt on officially, and there's really not a spot for him. So I thought, why not ask if we can make it a little bit bigger?
So one of the things that goes along with increasing the size of one of these groups, the Clean Energy Task Force. Gentlemen, do we need a town meeting to do that?
You
No,
know,
Clean Energy
No,
Task
because
Force
this
is
as Susan
formed
was
by the Board of
speaking, I
Selectmen.
was-
it's formed by our board.
I was thinking that I believe it was originally formed by the board. of
Yes, it was.
Selectmen.
Chris was just reminding us.
So I think it's within our purview to make changes. Are there alternate members of your board or just regular members?
We don't have alternates. I put that on there because, well, honestly, it's because there's a member who's not too well,
Yeah,
who would like to stay on, so we thought that might be a nice way to do that, but not absolutely essential.
No, it doesn't sound like it would be needed.
Do you have issues that require a forum or anything?
No, not really.
We do though,
We
we keep a record and we do have a forum.
do, we have minutes, we keep a quorum, but I mean, we
Okay.
haven't really needed to, we always seem to have a quorum.
So with a 7 member board task force, your quorum would be 4 people. With 9, it would be 5
Right.
people.
We
I
never
should
have-
know, you know.
We never have trouble getting 5 people.
That's fantastic.
Great people.
I don't have a problem with that. It's funny because I think we have another board just asking us to reduce the number. Because they're having
Can't get
trouble
a
with.
quorum.
Yeah, actually, I think they changed their mind,
Oh,
if I
they did?
recall. Oh, yeah, because then they got participation.
Yeah. Do you file minutes with this town clerk and everything, or?
We don't, I don't think
Okay.
it's an official, for a task force.
So this is sort of a ad hoc committee, so to speak?
It started as, it was a state thing, the community, clean energy communities, and
Yeah.
there were grants that you could earn and so forth.
Yeah.
So that it was in that format that they recommended it. The selectmen signed on for a goal to reduce energy use, electricity use by 20%. I think it was 2018, 15 at that point. There've been a couple of different
Yeah.
bumps along the way where we came in on that goal. But that program ended and we just kind of kept going.
We have also probably every couple of years filed a updated energy plan for the town, which I know that the Board of Selectmen has voted and accepted. And I think the last time wasn't last year, but the year before, I think we did one.
Yeah, we slowed down a lot during COVID too, frankly, but I guess we all did.
Didn't we all?
But we're back. We did a great program with the school this year, with the funding from the town, thank you. And because of the solar going on the roof, Dr. Levine, Carly, was so enthusiastic about teaching the kids about solar and the potential for that with the tools they have to work with that to see what the town is making. And also I reconnected them with the ones we already had for the town buildings. But we did like a little energy fair where the energy lab came to the school and we had some EVs there for the kids to see and they really liked that. And we bought these kits, which we'll be demonstrating at our tables. A couple tables we're doing this fall at the farmer's market and at the wine tasting, where they're so, well, they were downstairs on display. You might have seen them when you came in. They were flowers that, but in the sun, that would make more sense because the solar panels
Yeah.
make them turn. And then the kids also did a map of all the solar, PV systems in town, which is really great. So we'll have that on display and stuff.
That was one of the key factors in getting the last ZREC extension
Oh,
through Pura. They were not approving anybody, and it was unique that we were able to get that extension. And that's one of the things that was written up by Cindy to provide for information. So they were
She's great.
pretty impressed with that.
Great, oh, that's good. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
The only thing I would suggest, because there is some town funding involved, is that you check with the town clerk to see if you should be filing minutes.
Okay,
But I will make a motion to, at the request of the force, to increase their membership to 9.
Thank you, Bill.
Second that.
Thank you, Roger.
is it possible to appoint Kurt at the same time?
This has increased membership. Let's just see if it's on here. This is a special meeting. We don't have it on here to do that appointment.
Okay.
And
I mean,
it's a
in
special
here,
meeting.
It's a special meeting, so we can't add it to the agenda.
but- Okay,
We can put it on for our next one.
We will
Okay.
put it on for our next one.
thank you.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Motion approved.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay. And so everybody the guests have all gotten to speak on what they wanted to come on for. We don't have anybody else as a guest. Good. Now we can go back to our regular agenda. I don't have anything from the transfer station committee. I don't think they met last week. I think they didn't have a quorum. Old business, Ashford School roof replacement project status.
Can we just go back to Selectmen's update for a second?
Sure.
Could you bring Roger and I up to date on the after-school program? I
Oh,
noticed the front
yes.
page of the
Okay.
Citizen, we had an article. I'm
Thank you.
curious the numbers and-
Yeah, I know that the school has put something out. That's why I didn't speak to it. So what we encountered was, the money was, we didn't have the money because it was withdrawn. Clawed back by the feds. Okay, that was the start of this.
Well, they
So
were
then we-
paying it with their comparable to, I forget what they call it, but with ARPA funding. I
No,
know the first year, wasn't it?
We did use some.
They called it, but they had another name for it, IRA or something.
I don't know. All I
Okay,
know, it was ESSER.
Yes, sir.
It was an ESSER grant.
that's right.
Okay, so that got pulled back. So what we did was, and we had to do something quickly. Cindy called and, we needed to get something in the Citizen to let parents know for August what to expect. Actually, we were telling them in July, so they could plan for August. School starts late August. And in talking with her, having Sherry Susie here and everything, it was okay. How are we gonna do this? And we looked at what it would cost. We looked at the total costs for the previous year, et cetera. Did the math and came out with, it would cost about, I think it was $80 per student for a minimum of 14 students participating.
To maintain the program.
Maintain the program. So we went, okay, let's go with that. And bear with me, I'm just gonna think about the sequence of events here. It's been a pretty fast track. So then, after putting out the information to the public, what we got was, they found an alternative source for money. And if I recall, for this after-school program, alternative source. So, but the alternative source didn't provide enough to cover the whole program. So what was decided is $80 per student, one-time fee for the year. That would cover the remainder of the monies that are required, and the rest of it would be under the grant that they got
That's for this year.
this year. So it was a pretty fast-moving thing.
You know if they've got any. Because this says on the front page, it says for a fee of $80 per week per child.
That was the original that we had to put out to pay for it.
Mhm.
Okay, and now what's been upgraded, if you will, is they've acquired some money. And now we're just saying $80
One time.
one time per child.
Have they
And-
got, I'm worried about how many people that scared off.
Well, what they did was they sent out something from the school,
Okay,
which are the kids,
do you have any idea on what the response has been?
No, I haven't asked, but I'm sure it's a good program and I've got a sneaking, no one is gonna get a better deal than this in terms of their care, and the program is very popular. They've done very well managing it. You know,
Cause I remember when we started it, and you guys probably remember, we thought it was gonna be fee-based and we
Right.
just, people couldn't afford it.
right, and in reality, yeah, if you've got two kids, and actually, one of the things we couldn't do was couldn't do like a discount on the second child.
Right.
Because that would skew the numbers. So, and we had to plan for, they said the minimum they've had is 14. And it fluctuates.
That was $80 a
Between-
week or $80 a month? $80 a week.
It's
Well, what she's saying, it
$80
is
one
now
time
Okay.
$80
for the
one-time
entire
fee.
season.
Yeah.
The entire school year.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is
That's a
a
big
very,
difference.
very good deal. But we had to charge something because we don't have the money otherwise. And I have to credit the school with finding money someplace else for us. So,
You know, if they did it out of their non-lapsing fund or,
no, not of the non-lapsing fund.
yeah, thank you, that's a big, big difference.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Well, we
well,
had families when we started it. We had one family had 4 kids and they would have been paying fee and the mother worked. It would have been more than she got for
For
work.
work, right?
So,
okay,
thank you.
Ashford School Replacement Project Status. So I have received warranties, a warranty from the Imperial, which is the general contractor. And the warranty, after much prodding and goading from
Garland.
Garland. However, what I don't see with that is I don't see the architect's approval of that the school has met his design.
I saw the warranty from Garland. I didn't get
Okay.
a copy of the one from,
No problem, we'll give you that. They were still in contention when that warranty from Imperial came out.
okay,
But what I want is, I feel we need the approval from, the architect, which is, he's had to approve everything else. All of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, he's, delinquent on that. So that's all I'm waiting for. You have that warranty, we'll get you the other
at
one.
Garland.
You had a meeting with whom is going to take over? There's a responsibility that states that roof inspections have to be inspected at least once a year. I want to keep a log of the inspections by detailing at a minimum
Right.
the date and time.
Oh,
and
actually,
who's
I'm
for.
having the warranty looked at by town council.
Okay,
I'm not signing it until it's looked at by town council.
That's the Garland.
this is off of the Garland is.
Yeah, you notice they
part of the
signed it?
Owner's manual is to, somebody has to oversee it.
So we haven't got a feedback from that,
No,
because I had a couple of questions and we don't need to get
Oh,
into it, but.
well, if you
I'd
got
be-
questions,
Well,
tell
I'd
me.
be curious to see what, I don't wanna recreate it if the attorneys have some other comments or
Okay.
probably the same one, so I'll wait till there's.
Okay. Ashford School Solar Project status. Well, I gave you the update before. The, while we were meeting here at 1, the school building committee was meeting to talk about this one. Okay, it is my understanding they continue to want to pursue going forward. I did ask a question, about, someone came in, someone who was building his own home, I believe, and his question was, why aren't we installing solar somewhere like on the property someplace? And then having the energy go directly to the school and then anything else is offloaded into the grid. So I actually thought that this person knew quite a bit about it. And he clearly did not. But he came in here and I entertain listening to him and understanding what he was doing. And then I asked him what his familiarity was with it. And he just said, well, I'm building a house and I'm putting solar up. Okay, so that didn't quite meet muster, pass muster. But I did ask Jim Rupert. And he said, not a viable option. And he said the only viable options were to, bear with me. Just recently. Give me. I have it here. The only viable, well, they'll come back. They're going to come back with their recommendation from their meeting today. I have it right here because I wrote it down today. Project. Too many things on my desk, sorry. Was to pursue what we're pursuing in terms of putting it on the roof. The roof was planned for it in terms of it's a white roof. It's been architected to be able to manage it. He said, he was saying that no one's going to want to pick that up in terms of putting it out there. We'd have to purchase it and build it ourselves. And it'd have to be relatively close to the school. And you still have to trench, you'd still have to do all of the things that degrade what's coming in. So that's the first blush on that.
The other option was batteries.
Batteries, that's what it was, batteries, which are not not a good plan. So what he did say, one of the things I said, I'm a little concerned because I'm looking at how much are we going to save here? And they said, not only are we going to save on, based upon the amount of solar we put up there, which is less than we originally planned, but we're going to save on the, is it conveyance fee? What is it when the Eversource charges you? That's that
Transmission fee.
transmission fees. We won't have the transmission fees. So that's part of the savings. So they're looking at all of that again today. They also needed another $7,500 to pay for the fact that we've had rework that had to be done. So they're going to the, bear with me, to the Board of Ed for that. That'll be later this month. So that's what they were going to be discussing today.
Is that a posted meeting by them? Do they post their meetings?
No, they're just a committee. And there's Mike Malady, Jim Rupert, John Calabrese, who I think is out of town, and Cindy. So it was good talking with Jim because he gave the perspective and he was very supportive of continuing this. So they were looking for the savings from the beginning. They know the rates are going to go up, and just trying to do the best they can. So at this point, we're just waiting for Kerma to come back with their approval. We'd already had them approve the original RFP and the original PPA.
No, but given there are issues, we can't put the money, but the electricity back into the grid because of we don't have the infrastructure there to support it.
That's what they told us.
Okay. Now, does that affect the RFP at all or any of that?
Yeah, what happened
Yeah.
was with the RFP, I think I have it in the Ashford Citizen as well. Eversource said they can only support 75 kilowatts AC.
Mhm.
And we were looking for 220 minimum AC. So now it's, and believe me, Eversource is not on my happy list.
Mhm.
And also I've asked from them for what is their plan for the infrastructure in the town of Ashford, all of us, not just that road, because they said they weren't going to be planning to do anything in the future on that road. And that's when I also found out that the fire station is not, I don't even think that even if back when, if the town had opted to put more than
Transformer.
what was originally planned on the roof of the fire station, the thought was we'd have to buy a $15,000 transformer. I thought that would be our worst case with this. No, I don't think it could have handled the power that would have gone back, because they said that the buildings along there, all they can handle are the equivalent of what a house would be able to handle, would have.
Yeah.
Which is
But we've been-
awful.
But what annoys me to no end is that we've spent a lot of energy, a lot of time talking about this. Like, things were certain, and here we come to find out that.
Well, I gotta tell you, I got to the point of get over it, Catherine,
Well.
because
I'm
we're
just
trying
saying.
to make sure that we at least follow through on the plan that we had.
Yep.
We can adjust. The reality is we go and purchase it, we're gonna be fine, we're financing our new roof on the school.
Mhm.
And we're talking about another big project, which you gotta own, you gotta finance, etc. And you gotta manage afterwards. So not paid, power purchase agreement is one where, again, the provider is like a vending machine and we're ordering a soda. Okay, but they're maintaining the vending machine.
What bothers me is several years ago, we hired an expert consultant in the field. And so far to date, we've paid him north of $20,000 for
That
design
information.
and consulting with us.
Mhm.
I appreciate Catherine calling Eversource herself and getting some information.
Oh, don't think I didn't say something to
He should,
MHR.
he should have done that a couple of years ago.
Maybe so. I don't know. I think
that's
there
why
was,
you hire
I
a
think there were,
consultant.
I think there were stop starts. It's fits and starts. We've changed for selectmen, what, 3 times in the course of this?
But
You know.
he was the focal point
Mhm.
of our expertise.
Mhm.
And I'm very disappointed in Mark Robbins on this, and I'll let anybody wants to ask, I'll give him an earful on it. It's
I
his
cannot-
job, he has the expertise, he did the design, he did all the recommendations, we went
Gave
all
us
over
all
the
the
board
numbers, how much we
with
could
what we're gonna save, what we're not gonna save, what our alternatives were, and it turns out it's a completely different ballgame. We're spending, 2 years ago, we spent 61,000 a year at the school. This year, we're north of 80,000 for electricity.
60,000 north of 80,000.
Yes.
So if it had been done earlier, as you're saying, it would have been okay, but we had to put
It
the
it
roof
might have been
on.
okay, but I'm saying there's a lot of money involved there.
Yeah.
We're going from one time, if you're looking at owning it or having a power provider agreement and having somebody do it that way, now we're looking at a third of whatever those figures were. Because the design is gonna be a third of what the original design was. Last time we looked at, they said maybe we'd save 3,000 a year with them doing it. This time, if it's a third there, we're talking about $1,000.
No, it's,
That was my last letter I read, not his first or second on his projection, I think it was his third.
so what you
But that
have.
was based on the 100% thing.
Okay, so bear with me, because certainly the responses to the RFP, okay, we were saving more than that. The only way you know how much you're gonna save is when you get the responses to the RFP for the power purchase, for the power purchase agreement, because they're gonna tell you. But if we don't put it out there, we're not gonna know. Okay, so we have it ready to go out there.
The figures that I quoted are what we had heard anticipated by Mark Robbins. I've got his letters.
I understand that. I am in current time looking at what's being put forward. And it came back in the, bear with me, the response to the RFP and the power purchase agreement. That's what came back. And it was much more than that. So what we need to do is we need to get the RFP back out there. We took the other one down. RFP back out there and put the revised one and the revised PPA. The only thing that's holding us up at this point is making sure we do that double check with Kerma. I find it hard to believe that Kerma won't approve it because they approved the bigger one. And this is just reducing it. So let's do that. Let's see what the results are that come back in terms of the, what they're gonna tell us we're gonna save on it. We can do another assessment at that point. We're already at the point of being able to put it out there. And mind you, you guys aren't the ones having to spend the time on it, to be quite candid. I am, and I don't mind doing this to get it settled and to see if we can get it up there and producing the kind of savings that we need to have. The rates for Eversource are not gonna go down. And they don't have any plans, as far as I can tell. And by the way, I went over my liaison's head, got a name of one of their chiefs, and that's who I called. And I'm waiting for his call back. My liaison contacted me and went, were you trying to talk to so-and-so? And I said, yes, I want to know what the plan is for the town. And I said, can you make sure that happens? She said, yep, because that person had called her. So now it's gone back up. So we'll see what that is. Hopefully I'll be able to give you an update for the next meeting. I should be able to. Okay, that's where we are with that.
I need to go to my appointment.
All right.
Excuse me.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Have a good day, folks.
thank you. Approval, the next thing on new business is item B. Thank you for coming in and thank you for the work that you're doing. Approval acquisition of rec desk software. We have whatever, basically a contract that's dated June 30th, and we have money in last year to be able to put forth $4,200
Is
for the
that
software.
money in rec or
No, it's
other
under
money?
IT.
IT?
And actually, we're gonna overrun IT a little bit, but we have, you asked Bill for, and we can't cover it during this meeting because it's a special meeting, but you asked for a copy of what's the status of the 2025 fiscal year revenues
I want
and,
to close out.
yeah, well, it's not closed out yet. It's still a little vague, not
Yeah.
vague, but closer. So, we have monies of, and this is already incorporated in. So even with this being paid, we have over $80,000 that we anticipate that we did not spend last year. And we have quite a bit of tax revenue, considerable tax revenue that is going to be good to have in our undesignated fund and hopefully over into the capital improvement fund.
I will move the purchase, authorize the first selectman to sign the agreement for the rec desk
Thank you. Do I have
software.
a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you.
And my understanding is that our new director is well acquainted with that program.
Actually, bear with me. I was told that by Dave Roston, but then when I talked with,
Sherry, I thought you said.
no, when I talked again with Noah, I believe he's used it or something like it with Wham. Because he's on their
Yeah.
council. So and I know he's a quick study, and we have multiple people that would be involved. We'd have Sherry Susie, we'd have me, because I could tell what the software is, and also Karen. And we want to make sure we've got admins, that we all have admin capability. The other thing is, I also had talked with Monica about possibly in the future, not right away, but I'd already asked the principal in the company if it could support senior center as well. He said, oh, yes, you just have separate reporting in it. And so I'd like it to be set up so that it's at least has a skeletal senior center component so that it can be added onto, and adding forms and things like that, not tough. Not with this software, at least, based upon my experience. So let's see, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. So
Aye.
I, thank you, thank you. I think this is gonna make things much better in terms of money management down there and program management. All right, now, unfortunately, I had already covered discussing the town Zoom accounts, the lower level conference room upgrades, which are, as I described, I forgot it was down here. And now this discuss and or act on Ashford Academy repairs. Unfortunately, Chris, trying to remember her last name.
Slazo?
Yes. You guys still with me? Yeah, she is the head of the Historical Society.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
You may remember
No,
her,
yeah,
kind of a breath of fresh air.
absolutely.
Where
Okay,
is that
so
on the agenda?
which,
Am I-
what
am I
she
missing
really
something?
wanted to talk, I'm sorry? It's item number E under new business.
You have the old one or the one for today? Oh, you have the one for last Monday.
She could not
I have
attend.
the 7 o'clock one.
Yeah.
There was another one.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. What are we talking about?
the
I'm-
agenda.
The
Agenda.
agenda,
Update
okay,
the
I
agenda.
have the.
The agenda was
7 o'clock
revised
agendas.
for today. Yes.
Oh,
I don't
oh,
have the academy on mine.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So item, no wonder you look puzzled. Now I
couldn't
understand.
find it.
Discuss and or act on Ashford Academy repairs. Actually, Chris can't attend today. Her father is in the hospital. So she is has been dealing with that over the last week. But what she really wanted to start talking with us about was she just wanted to let us know that for the October, they're looking to have a tour of just not even going into the Ashford Academy, but a kind of a tour right out in the front there as you go in, and a tour of the outhouse and a tour of the
Yeah.
it is pretty neat.
Hey,
It
It's
did
on the
help win us
historical
some,
register.
huh?
The outhouse is on, isn't it, Chris?
The outhouse, it's registered at
It's on
Ashford.
the, it's
Oh,
on the
yeah.
historical register.
And so what they intend to do is have something from October. They're going to have, who went to school there?
And subpoena.
Ann
subpoena.
Subpoena to actually be there.
excellent.
They've been taking recordings of her. Yes,
No, she was the last graduating class from the academy.
which is
Oh,
pretty
wow.
cool. And
I
tours of
thought
the,
you were gonna say she was the last to use the outhouse.
That too.
no, that's cute. We'll have to tease her with that.
She may have been.
Tours of the cemetery as well. And it just so happened that our,
Oh. Sorry about that. Didn't notice that.
what is Jim called?
Oh.
That's important.
Yeah.
I'll help you with that.
I was there yesterday,
Oh, where are
2
you?
days ago. Cause I wanted to stop in and see the finished gazebo.